We're live. This is Travis from Carter Cow Capital. Travis, Expert Advisor Reviews on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing very well on this, I believe it's Wednesday. Wednesday morning. I have 6:34. Sorry for being late. Trying to make sure I end up getting everybody situated and dressed and ready to go for our morning as we go from there. But let's go ahead and go through the disclaimer, and then after that, we'll talk about what's going on for the overall trading day. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from that education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Now, understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money. Also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind and understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it's not promised that you're going to end up making money today. So as we go through and get everything else situated, I can be able to see me in the red brand. I hope everybody's doing very well. I'm going to show myself onto the screen in one quick second. Just wanted to make sure that everything was good. And obviously, if you are new here, one, thanks for being able to pop in. There you go. Thanks for being able to pop in. Super excited to be able to talk to everybody. We are going through the phase of, obviously, validation phases on prop firm challenges and stuff like that for my Forex funds. We're actually in the midst of day 2 of that. End up passing FTMO, the trial challenge for the second time with the boss band EA. So we did it with boss band, which is cool. Now I'm going through the overall phase of being able to see how everything's going to end up playing out with our overall trading that we end up having here. So if you have any questions, if you have any pairs or anything else like that that you'd like to be able to talk about, please don't hesitate to be able to place it inside of the comment section as we will take a look at it, evaluate it, and be able to go from there. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening with the economic calendar. Last time I took a look at it, didn't seem like there was much of anything today. Remember, we are in week 2 of the overall month. Typically, week 2 is more of a trader's week, meaning that you're not necessarily going to end up having a lot of high impact news that's going to end up affecting the market. We had Jerome Powell end up speaking yesterday, and him talking or anything else like that didn't necessarily move the market all that much. We take a look at what's happening throughout the rest of the week. Doesn't seem like we're probably going to end up having that much of movement as well. I'm gonna say Suba, Andre, what's going on? 452. Hope everything's going well with you. You have any questions or a pair that you would like to look at inside of the chat box? Don't hesitate to be able to place that in as we go through. Thanks for being able to pop in. I do appreciate it. All right, but today we do have for China a consumer price index that's going to end up happening for month to month and year to year based off of December. But that's not going to truly affect what's going on as well. Fatty, what's going on? Hope everything's going well. As we go through, Fatty, how did you do on that pound yen trade? I didn't take a look at it after you ended up talking about it. Well, after we left the last session. There we go. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. There we go. Cool. I'm going to take a look at the big 3, and then after that, we'll jump right into everything else. Oh, there it is. That's the weekly. Let's take a look at what happened for the day since I'm already looking at it. Fatty, you was looking at buying on pound yen, right? Didn't jump after the 90 pips. Okay, cool. Yeah, it looked like it's been somewhat sideways. I know I'm looking at the daily, but 2 hours been kind of stagnant. Okay. And the US 30 and a gold buy. Cool. We'll talk about both of those, obviously, as we always do. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at United States dollar index, and then after that, we'll take a look at everything else. Gold is starting to pop up. It's finally done broken out of that next area. We'll talk about that one as well. Let's see. All right, so United States dollar index still inside of consolidation. I'm going to go with the 2 hour because it's very simple to see what's actually happening. We end up having 2 potential trades that we could have got into. One was at 12,814. I did not take that trade. I ended up seeing consolidation. I ended up seeing that it popped through, and my eyes wasn't on it because obviously I'm going through other challenges and I've been focusing in on those. But is back in the middle of this consolidation, meaning that it is expecting to be able to go up. If it's expecting to be able to go up, then that means that pairs like Euro, United States, and everything else like that are probably going to end up falling. So please keep that in mind. I know I know that we're still kind of early within this overall morning, but the market has not necessarily been moving a lot. It's been very stagnant. It's like it's waiting for some news, but there's no news on the horizon that is expected to be hit. So unless there's something that I'm missing from Bloomberg or CNBC or anything else like that, I don't see anything else from there. So United States dollar index, I'm still going to remain and say the same things when it comes down to what I believe is going to end up happening. 12,814, I do believe that once it does fall, it will go down to 12,626, which matches up with the last support that we end up seeing over here. But as a whole, there's really nothing to do on United States dollar index as of yet. So we're going to kind of wait and kind of go from there. U.S. oil. U.S. oil still stagnant, very simple. No, there's no trade until the market actually ends up breaking over 82 or 70. So right now I'm going to end up staying away from that one. So that makes that one pretty simple. Gold, we end up having a trade, end up taking profit a couple days ago at 1872. So let's take a look at what we can be able to do now. So I am going to do a full breakdown on this one from a weekly and a daily perspective. The weekly is in the sell zone, which means that we're expecting to be able to see some possible fall, to see the market possibly end up having a retracement. I don't think that retracement is going to end up happening yet. The reason why I don't think that retracement is going to end up happening yet is because we got a few areas where this market could be able to push up to first. The first one will probably end up being right around that 1915 area, which is the latest, or which was the next resistance that has not been hit. If it does break that next area, then after that, we'll talk about seeing that the market could go potentially back up to the 2000 area. And I'm seeing 1962 or 1960 as a next primary area where this market could potentially go. From a daily perspective, we can see that the market is a little bit overbought as well. So for people that are looking at being able to buy, I wouldn't necessarily say this is to be the area where I would look at being able to buy, because from an indicator standpoint, it's saying that we're looking at being able to get out and sell. Also, but let me rephrase that. From a buying perspective, I think that you can be able to buy. I think that the buying is limited to 1891. 1891 is the daily D extension that has not been fulfilled yet right there. The market is pushing up in that area, which means that we should see subtle United States dollar weakness again until probably sometime around 9:30 or whatever may be the case in the morning, as this market is moving up towards gold. So that means the Japanese yen probably should be falling. Japanese yen should be gaining strength against the United States dollar as well. We'll take a look at the U.S. yen chart on that one and kind of go from there. Arizona, what's going on? I've seen you on the other one. What's going? I've seen you on the red brand. Hope everything's going well with you. I'm actually simulcasting this through TradingView as well. Sorry for catching your sorry for catching your message late. Hope everything's going well with you. But 1891 is the D extension where the market could potentially end up going up to. Still kind of paying attention to see where that is going to end up going, and we'll go from there. Speaking of that, while we're doing that, let's go ahead and talk about Euro United States dollar. I have a pending order on Euro United States dollar at 107.58, and from my Forex funds is at 107.59 for the overall challenge. So let's take a look at Euro United States dollar. I'm going to talk about that overall trade as we take a look at it. We've been seeing that this market has been in consolidation. Currently, right now, it's at the top of resistance. It has not broken out as of yet. And my hope, obviously, is that if it does decide to be able to break, it's going to end up breaking with a little bit of force, and then after that, be able to go. If it's not going to go, then I'd rather not be placed inside of this trade, obviously. But my automation systems are basically taking a look at that one. So I'm going to get a cleaner chart, and I'm going to start from the beginning because this is a new year, and it'll make it a little bit easier for everyone to be able to pay attention to it, because this looks like a whole bunch of crap. All right, so let me clear the screen. I'm going to start from the beginning. We're going to start off fresh and kind of go from there. Y'all understand how we end up getting this done. All right, from a weekly perspective, we see that overall that from a long-term perspective, that the United States dollar has been gaining strength since 2004. But we take a look at what's happening currently at this particular point. Since the market ended up falling all the way down to its low at 95.35, the market has been making a little bit of pop up. So I'm going to look at this from a buying perspective because the short term movement from a weekly perspective has been bullish. All right, so there goes your fear right there. Market ended up creating a B at 107.35. At this particular point, the market has not had a true retracement. Last week, it ended up having a little bit of a retracement, but that's not enough of a retracement to be able to consider it um, be a B to C type of movement. So I think that we're looking for a new fractal high as this market is kind of moving up. We're about 7 points away from this market actually being able to push in on some of those trades. So to give you an example, this is what's happening with my Forex Funds challenge. There's a order that is right here at this particular point, trying to get 8%. For some reason, the market ended up taking a sale right here at this particular point earlier this morning, and I didn't like that position. But it is what it is. We'll see how that kind of goes when it comes down to that. Block, what's going on? Hope everything's going well. Let's see. Let me go half and half so I can make sure I see everybody. All right, there we go. So market hasn't made a true retracement at this particular point, which kind of is worrying me at this for this overall movement. But it's a scalper, so all I have to do is just go 2.5 points. It gets 2.5 points, we'll be okay. I need the ABCD too. So this market hasn't had a true retracement. Typically, you want to have a true retracement right around the 382 before being able to go up. So that leads me to believe that this market is going to keep on going up bullish and being able to make this movement. Now, overall, from a weekly perspective, we have seen that, from a daily perspective, we are seeing that this market is going through a second bullish phase. It actually ended up completing the first bullish phase or the first D extension at, what number is that? Come on, give me the number. Okay, I'm just going to say 103. Let's see, 103, I'm sorry, 102.84. All right, the first phase got completed at 102.84. Now we're taking a look at it at this particular point. The market is going through and trying to be able to get to 1.1025, which is the next D extension. Now, here's the problem. In the market doing this overall retest, or not retest, in the market going through its overall retracement, it only retraced to the 382, to the 236, which means that there's an 80% chance that the market could start to have a little bit of a retracement right around the 127, also known as the 80-20 rule. If you done been around me, you done heard about the 80-20 rule plenty of times. Now, 20% of the time, the market continues to push past and keeps on going up to the D extension based off of momentum force, and sometimes based off of this overall U-turn in the market and a shift of how one currency is being perceived to another. I don't know if that's the case on this one when it comes down to euro or when it comes down to the United States dollar. But I think the reason why the euro is getting strong is because the United States dollar is getting weak. I don't think it's the opposite. I don't think the eurozone is just getting stronger overall, and it's just dominating pairs. So I'm going to keep my eye out on this one. There is consolidation. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I do have a trade based off of the breakout of this position in two different areas. I'm going to talk about both of those areas real quick. I'll read them off. 107.58 is the first order. Let's see, make that green. I'm seeing a double top may break down. I'm guessing you're talking about euro United States dollar. So I'm gonna go 107.59 because that's where the my Forex Funds order is at. And support. There's a support trade of 107.17, I believe. under consolidation area. Okay. Yeah, you're talking about Euro United States dollar. So I have two orders right there in both of those positions. Now that's based off of my robot, not based off of me. If it was based off of me, I'd probably have the second order at 107.10, and being able to go from there. Yes, it possibly could be a. Uh, I'm looking at consolidation. I'm not looking at a double top. A double top would have just been two different spots where it ended up hitting. In this case, the market's been ranging inside of this area. So as long as it's ranging inside that area, I am going to consider that to be just consolidation. Um, Now the question is, where's it going to go? From a long-term perspective, typically when we do that, we look left. Short term, we can go to 107.87. Long term, we got a little bit of free run. I'm going to take a look at TradingView and see what the actual spot is when it comes down to that. Let's see. Get a little bit of help from the bottom profile. This was the consolidation that we talked about in Monday's session. We know that we're pretty much right about here. The highest point of the resistance between all of those bars was at 107.58. I think that 107.58 has to be broken all the way through until this, in order for this market to fully go. But if it does break that area, now we can be able to go to the hourly and kind of get a little bit more context of this. And okay, we're going to go to the 4 hour. Let's see what's happening with the 4 hour. The previous consolidation that was not the previous consolidation that happened in that area actually ended up happening in from May 23rd to June 9th, which was the actual first week where we started going through having live sessions here on TradingView. So 107.53 will be the point where I think that the market has to be able to break. I think it will get to that point first before having any type of before doing anything else. If it does break that area, then we I don't know if y'all noticed this, but y'all see that gap inside? Type of Y yes if you can be able to see that gap right there. Everyone type in and you can be able to see that gap right there. If you can, that's the position where I think the market is going to end up fulfilling if this actually breaks. It will go up to 108. It'll probably end up going up to 108. 108.40 for the overall position from there. So that would be the long-term take profit position if you are looking at being able to get in on this overall trade from a swing trade perspective. So set this up for the swing trade. Obviously, I talked to y'all about the scalping trade. My system only looks at 2%. 2-point intervals when it goes in and gets that. So it'll be trailing it, trying to get 20 points. Long position. If you're being conservative, 107.58 as the overall spot. Stop loss. If you're trying to do a swing trade, I would place it below the actual swing low, which will end up being at 107. Let's say 107.15, just to be safe. Take profit will end up being up to 108.40. I'm going to say 108.40. I'd rather get out earlier than late. Okay. Risk reward of 1.89. I don't like that. We need to probably make that a little bit tighter. So we'll go to the 15 and kind of see what a swing low is. Swing low in the lowest portion of volatility was at 107.28. So that's what we'll put it at. 107.20. Let's say 107.27 will end up being my stop loss if I'm looking at this from a swing trading perspective. Now, obviously, the market is still in consolidation. It has not broken out yet. And I'm hoping that if it does tries to break out with a little bit of force and it gets me at least 5 to 6 points or more if it does that. But there goes the order right there if it does break out for the buy. That's a 1 to 2.61. I do like that risk reward ratio if that does happen. Now, market falls. The market does fall, then we're looking at a short position right below these overall lows, plus a stop loss just above the swing high or the point of control, which will end up being at 107.37. And we'll look to be able to get out right before this, a little bit of a string of high volume node at 106.80. Once again, 1 to 2.51 for the risk reward if that does happen. Okay, so I'm going to move this over to the right. I'm going to keep the other one towards the left. And we'll see what happens for us there. Once again, I don't like fighting in the middle of consolidation, so I'm not placing it. I don't want to place in an order right at the right in the middle. It's a 33% chance of being able to win. It doesn't make any sense to be able to take a trade from there. But there you go. So idea we end up being buy stop at 1.0758. Stop loss end up being 107. See 107.24. 1.0724. TP will end up being 108.40. That's from a swing trader perspective. If you're scalping it, I would say scalp it. Look at being able to get 5 to 10 points and then trail it from there. Or if you're really scalping it, look at being able to get 2 to 3 points and then try to go out to 20, and kind of go from there. All right. Sell stop option as an idea, obviously not financial advice. 107.20. Stop loss 107.38. Take profit 106.80. From there until it breaks out, we'll see what happens. But there's no reason to fight. There's no reason to fight with it. Let the market sit up there and do its thing until it breaks out. Type in a while, yes, if that makes sense. I'm going to keep this up here for a quick second. If you want to be able to take a look at it, screenshot it, or anything else. Let's see. I'm going to make a snapshot for myself. Let's see. Let's see. Everybody, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Let's see. Copy. Here we go. All right, so there we go with that. Let's go ahead and move forward. I want to take a look at US 30 and NAS 100. I got time to be able to answer both of those real quick. Fatty, you said that you were you long on US 30 or short? Fatty, were you long or short on US 30? I don't know if you're still here or not. Let's see. Transfer.com. right, so last time we buy trades. Last time we ended up taking a look at this on Monday, I ended up expressing that we ended up having two orders that we could be able to take a look at. The first one was at 33,450. That trade ended up getting triggered in at 33,450. We ended up getting out at 33,600 without really much hesitation. Congratulations to people who end up doing that. Check mark on that one. Good win when it came down to that movement. Now, the market is still in consolidation, and there's a natural position of high volume that is actually happening right here, which matches up with all of that consolidation that we end up seeing in this area from literally, I don't need to go to the date, give me back to the hour. Literally, we was in this large scale consolidation from November 11th all the way until December 15th. So a month full of consolidation. The market hasn't broken out of this area. However, once it ends up breaking past this block of 33,620 and 33,864, which is where most of the volume was basically at, most of the price action was actually at, then I think that we have a little bit of a free range trying to get up to these highs. So I have a pending order that's still kind of is still set up to where we can be able to take a look at it at 33,885, going up to 34,100. That has not been fulfilled yet, but we are looking at that as a overall position as a potential order to be able to get up, to be able to go into. We've seen that that number end up getting hit, but it did not fully go through. Also, we can see that this may be the start of another consolidation block that may end up start from there. We did have the free run, but typically when you end up having a vortex trade or a free run area, after that you end up seeing that consolidation would typically end up coming after it. So we'll see what the consolidation may end up looking like before we actually end up making a move off of that. Uh, uh, What's going on with you? Hope everything's going well with you. Hope thanks for being able to say hello. Um, let's see. But Dow Jones, nothing right now. Wouldn't look at making any trade on this one right now. Uh, there's consolidation that's looking like it's about to start building out. Um, Obviously, Euro United States dollar actually ended up falling. So we're still probably going to be in that consolidation for a little bit. So we just need to pay attention to that more. But obviously, we're going to keep our trades in, wait till the market ends up breaking out of those overall areas. Then after that, we have something to be able to do. There's no reason to trade inside this area. Once again, 33% chance of being able to win inside this area, 70% chance to be able to win if you end up taking these trades outside of that area. All right, so please keep that in mind as we go through and take a look at those. Last one for the day, we'll take a look at. No, did we take a look at Bitcoin? We'll take a look at Bitcoin last. Block, how's everything going? How's everything going on with your systems? There it goes. So if you end up see us talk about this on Monday, we end up talking about how the market was in between 16,500 and basically 16,500 and 17,000. We said that once this market ended up breaking above 17,000, then after that we end up having a strong pop up. Then after that, it'll start looking at being able to go to the top of the resistance of 18,240. So this is basically essentially um, we had our full breakout and retest when the market fell right here and then retested right there. I just think that the market is basically fulfilling this overall consolidation spot and will retest up in this area eventually. The question is, how long is it going to take to get there? Sometimes Bitcoin can end up going very fast. Sometimes it can end up being very slow. We just don't know what that is going to end up being, but we do know that eventually it's going to end up getting up to that 18,240 number. And so if you're not in at this particular point, and you're not necessarily a long-term investor for Bitcoin, what I would end up doing is that I would wait for the market to be able to break a counter trend line break. Once that counter trend line break actually ends up happening, then after that you have a chance of being able to make a move. Currently, right now, it's showing a little bit of a triangle. Um, uh, for the people that like being able to take trades based off of breakouts, that may be something that you may be interested in. Me personally, I'm not necessarily interested in that. But there could be a potential chance that the market could move based off of that movement from there in one of those positions. I'm going to stay away from it just to be able to keep my sanity when it comes down to that. Bitcoin can be very fickle when it comes down to triangles, especially if there's not a built up consolidation, kind of like what happened in this area. All right. So with that being said, that's the amount of time that I have for today. If you like what I end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on that boost button, or obviously make sure that you end up dropping in a follow when it comes down to everything else that we end up having. Also, if you would do me a favor, on YouTube, we actually end up placing in a new review on the we end up placing in a new review on one of the actual EAs that we end up taking a look at right here. You're interested in being able to learn a little bit more about that, you're more than welcome to be able to take a look at that video right there. Not going to place any links or anything else like that. Not necessarily full promotion, but or not even promotion at all. If you want to take a look at the page, you can be able to kind of get some ideas about what to be able to look for, what to be able to stay away from, and everything else. So there you go. Hope everybody's doing very well. Like always, make sure that you end up playing your trade your plan. Everybody, see you later.